Let's start off your 8 o'clock hour with an update on a crash that closed several lanes on I-25 in Thornton this morning. We learned that at 1:15 this morning, a truck hit a sedan and caught on fire after the sedan cut it off. There were 6 people in the truck. 2 were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. The driver of the sedan was cited for the incident. This is video from our CDOT cameras from earlier this morning. Right now, all lanes are back open on southbound I-25 near 84th Avenue. Thank you so much for sticking with us. I'm Lauren Scafidi. Let's send things on over to Weather Impact meteorologist Jaden Knowles. Jaden, we're talking about high 60s today. When are we changing things up?
As we head into next week, that's when we're talking about the cooler temperatures, Lauren. But for the high country today, not going to be as warm. We're talking about some snow coming your way. So far, they're looking outside at Copper Mountain, just beautiful and gorgeous. You can see people coming down the slope so far on the lift going up there. But what's the main weather impact that we're tracking? Like I just mentioned, that snow, really talking about this evening into early parts of tomorrow morning. Mountain passes above 10,000 feet is the main people who's going to see the snow for this evening. Current temperatures, though, as you're heading out the door, notice that people are already on the field starting to warm ups there. 40 degrees in Centennial, 48 at the airport currently, then also 44 degrees here in downtown Denver. Current temperatures across the entire state. We're seeing the upper 30s, the low to mid 40s for the eastern plains. So a little chilly as you're heading out the door. You might need that light jacket, but overall, we're going to warm up nicely for the metro area and over towards the eastern portion of the state. Here's a live radar noticing that there's a little bit of snow trying to make its way into the state. We're going to see more than that once we head into this evening. But overall, though, the forecast for today, a nice and warm day, getting up to the upper 60s. I'll talk about what to expect as we head into next week and maybe those snow chances later in the show. Lauren?
All right. Thank you so much, Jaden. Officials are looking into a shooting involving the Larimer County Sheriff's Office this morning. According to a press release, at 2:30 today, a deputy tried to make a traffic stop in Berthoud near the TPC Colorado golf course. The car reportedly drove off, and the deputy performed a pit maneuver to stop it. The driver then sped towards the deputy, who shot at the suspect. Both the deputy and the suspect had minor injuries, but we're making calls to learn if the suspect was actually shot. The suspect is in custody this morning. New this morning, crews battled a destructive apartment fire in Colorado Springs, which the fire department says left around 50 people displaced and 2 people critically injured. This happened at the Montecito Apartments around 1:30 this morning. We learned from the Colorado Springs Fire Department 4 people had to be rescued by ladder. 2 people in critical condition are in the hospital right now. They say the bulk of the fire has already been dealt with, but all of Pikes Peak between Byron and Murray will stay closed. Investigators are trying to figure out what caused it, and we'll continue to update you on the situation as soon as we learn more. And get this, more than a dozen people are in need of a place to stay after another fire at another apartment building, this time in Lakewood. The fire happened early Saturday morning at an apartment building near 13th Avenue and Lamar Street. That's just a little north of the Lakewood Country Club. West Metro Fire says it started when someone left a space heater running on a wooden deck. West Metro Fire says 2 units in the upper floor were damaged and 2 units below had water damage. Smoke damaged that whole building. 30 people were displaced. The Red Cross is helping them out. And as we get into these colder months and you take out those space heaters, there are definitely things that you can do to keep yourself and your family safe. First, put it on a level surface so it can't be knocked over. Use a heater with safety features like an automatic shutoff or a tip-over switch. Keep it away from children and pets, and always plug it directly into a wall outlet. Don't use one of those surge protectors. The National Fire Protection Association also says turn it off or just unplug it when you leave the room or when you go to bed. The Boulder Star has lit up the mountainside for generations. This year, the annual tradition got a makeover with an emphasis on fire safety. This year, the Boulder Chamber improved the star by adding a remote sensor. It conserves energy and it automatically turns off during high winds to prevent fire danger.
We recognize that the land we're on is precious because we've seen what catastrophic events can happen by accident.
Accidents like the 10-acre grass fire that was started by a spark from heavy mowing equipment off of Highway 36 just a few days ago. Jonathan says he is thankful for these changes as hot and dry conditions continue. We are just more than a year away from the Colorado debut of the Sundance Film Festival, and this weekend the state's film industry all gathered across 7 cities to start getting things ready. Hundreds of people showed up at simultaneous town halls to talk about how Colorado can better retain productions and build local capacity ahead of Sundance's move to Boulder in 2027. Attendees talked collaboration, training, incentives, and building pipelines so more commercials, documentaries, and features can shoot here.
Folks were not engaging with each other, and there were pockets of people doing great work, but folks weren't able to engage with each other.
One of my ideas that I dreamed up was, what if we did a town hall where people could come and feel heard?
The meeting emphasized opportunity, not reinvention. Attendees want Colorado to stay the way it is while making it easier for productions to choose the state. As of this month, Denver's forestry team has planted 4,500 new trees across the city in this year. Most years, the city only plants about half that number. Foresters say each part of the city has its own needs as the climate changes. They need to plant trees that will grow with the environment around it. But it's not just about helping the planet, it's also about helping the people.
Trees also make a positive impact on our community. The shading helps reduce energy costs when they're planted strategically next to buildings. We know that trees enhance mental health and wellness.
Foresters say this year alone, they planted more than 150 different species of trees in almost all of Denver's neighborhoods. Several food banks across the Denver metro and beyond are really just having a hard time meeting demand right now after SNAP benefits were delayed this month. Our partners at the Denver Gazette say people are showing up in huge numbers for their next meal. The Adams County Food Bank, for example, they're reporting lines wrapping all the way around the building. They usually see about 80 families a week, new ones, but last week that jumped to more than 190. And it's not just the recent SNAP issues. The Food Bank of the Rockies says they're getting about 14,000 fewer meals this year because of federal funding cuts to the USDA. A reminder, our 9 Cares Colorado Shares Drive is happening right now. We're teaming up with King Soopers and local food banks to help Coloradans facing food insecurity. So far, thanks to you, we have collected more than $370,000. So thank you so much for all of your generosity. You are amazing. Still got a long way to go, though. You can scan this QR code right here to get to our donation page. You can also donate when you're checking out at King Soopers. Democratic Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania is out of the hospital this morning. The 56-year-old posted about heading home yesterday. He suffered a fall earlier this week. Fetterman said he needed 20 stitches to close cuts on his face. He collapsed Thursday morning while on a walk. Doctors said Fetterman has an irregular heartbeat, and that flared up during his walk. He got lightheaded and fell to the ground. The federal government is reopening its agencies since the 43-day shutdown ended. And this weekend, the national museums in D.C. started welcoming visitors once again. By tomorrow, all of the Smithsonian Institution's 19 museums and the National Zoo will be open. Past closures have been very costly to the museums. These numbers are kind of crazy. During the 2019 shutdown, they lost around $5 billion in revenue. And that's, of course, in addition to the staff furloughs and suspended or canceled programs.
It was a little disheartening to kind of just see the city be a little bit more of a ghost town, but,
The director of the Smithsonian's National Air and Space Museum says they've already seen more than 1,000 visitors since their opening doors on Friday.